I said peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high. I said peace, tranquility, roll up the weed and get high.
It's been one heck of a day, guys. But we're back. You know what this feels like? When you go to human resources with questions and they don't answer you?
I've been there.
You've been there? Yeah, I've been there too.
Been there a few times.
My condolences.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah. That's probably why they fired us, right?
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the human resource section of TheyFired Us, man. I am Desmond Bonet.
I am Lade, and welcome to another episode, man. We are excited to present these reviews. That's what human resources is all about. We pray that these resources will answer any questions that you have going on in your life. And also, if you do have some questions, please send it to us at TheyFiredUs@gmail. Or if you have any videos you would like us to review, send us at TheyFiredUs@gmail.com. TheyFiredUsNY.
TheyFiredUsNY@gmail.com, man.
Got it.
First video coming to you guys. Some of y'all, social media people probably done seen this video floating around. It went viral in the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, let's say 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks, man. A couple who have a podcast together. It's called the Dead Ass Podcast. I'm not even gonna talk too much. We're gonna let y'all just hear the conversation, and then we're gonna continue from there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I am not allowed, based on our marriage laws and the contract we signed with each other,
right,
to have sex with anybody else.
Right.
So these urges that come, I have to share them with the one person I decide to spend the rest of my life with.
Right.
So that brings me back to my soundbite.
Okay.
Right? I don't understand, and this is what we can discuss. As a woman, because I don't want to say it's a man versus woman thing, but a lot of women do complain, oh, my husband's always on me. Why is he always on me? If sex is going to be a chore for you that you don't really want to do, why do women constantly push monogamy on men? If you know that you don't want to have to deal with him all the time just wanting you, why do you push monogamy on men?
Well, who's to say I pushed anything on anybody?
Well, we know that you pushed monogamy on me.
I pushed monogamy. I forced you to get married to me?
Time out. I didn't say you forced me to get married, but did you not say to me that you...
Let's pay attention to terminology. Let's just pay attention to terminology.
Wanted to be engaged and you wanted to be married before you lived with me? You didn't say that?
I want $1 billion. That don't mean I'm going to get it. I can want something, but not...
You right now you're dodging the question.
Nobody pressed you to do it. Yes, is that something I wanted? Yes, it was. But... You
didn't press me? Are you going to lie now to the people because we're talking about sex? You're going to lie now to the people?
Devout. Knowing...
Come here, you didn't want monogamy?
Of course I did.
So then why are you avoiding the question?
That's not avoiding the question. I'm saying, does that mean because I wanted and I requested that you were going to deliver it? Like, nobody pressed you for that.
Time out. You just said you wanted it and requested it.
Pause the video for a second.
I can make
Pause the video. First, she said about the $1 billion, right? So I didn't force you, right? That contradicts everything she said from the beginning, right? So nobody forced her to not become a billionaire. She's not a billionaire right now.
That's why I said pay attention to terminology. Oh, I wanted $1 billion, but it doesn't mean I was gonna get it. If he would have said no to the quote-unquote choices that you gave him, which is really an ultimatum, if he would have said no, then we probably wouldn't be sitting there watching this.
Yeah, facts. And I wanna pay attention. I want you guys to pay attention because he asked the question, and the question he asked generalized all women, and he wanted the direct answer from her, from a woman's perspective about why women do that, and she took the personal route and said that she didn't, do what she's claiming that she did. But also, I want to iterate that from his point of view, he probably got asked more than once. And it was probably a whole bunch of clues, sprinkles, because you know how you females do, and don't say you don't do it. You happen to leave clues. Consciously, nonverbal. Sometimes they're verbal, but sometimes they're nonverbal, and you want us men to pick up on those clues. So she probably dropped a whole bunch of clues. You know, you ever watch Scooby-Doo? And you know how Scooby-Doo, and they're looking for the monster, and they're, you know, looking down the trail for a whole bunch of clues. You probably left a whole bunch of clues stating, I want marriage. And that's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about.
Is the request going to be granted?
Am I
That's up to you, bro.
am I not granting you monogamy?
You are granting it to
So
me.
this,
You heard what she just said?
Yeah.
Is the request gonna be granted? That's up to you, bro. How is that not It's too soon. We gonna watch a little bit more.
Yeah, too
this is
soon.
my question. This is
Look
my
at
question.
always look at your boy. Look at your boy.
This is my question.
He's a busy man.
If you wanted monogamy,
Okay.
why would you want monogamy if sex is a chore for you? That's the question. You're avoiding the
I'm
question.
not avoiding the question, but at first you said women, or in general me specifically, are pushing monogamy on somebody. Okay, yes, that's something that I wanted, but I didn't press you for it and be like, I'm gonna hold a gun to your head to propose to me. Also, let me finish. Also, I don't feel like I was adequately prepared for marriage, and I've said that before because if I knew
Pause that. She doesn't think she was adequate for marriage. Then why did you push for it?
This is what I mean. Pay attention to the terminology. In my opinion, she's contradicting herself and probably doesn't even know it. Everything she's saying combats. She's going back and forth.
Yes. So she does. She does notice that it was a generalization, and she's trying to answer the question. So kudos to her for that. I'm happy that she listened to me and she just did that. Good. All right. Cool.
Monogamy was going to involve me trying to meet you where you were at sexually for years to come, then I probably would have reevaluated if I wanted to be monogamous anyway.
So that's fair, but we're not even talking about marriage. Let's even talk about dating, right?
Okay.
Two people are dating. Typically, in society, who asks for exclusivity first, a woman or a man?
I would say woman.
Thank you. That was my whole point. See, you were going all over the place. If women typically ask for exclusivity first, then when they get exclusivity, say, he always on me, he always want to have sex. Why are we asking men for exclusivity if we do not want to participate in sex at the same level as men? We have to think about what that does to a man, and I don't think that conversation is being had.
Okay, I agree, and that part I agree with. Yes, that women are typically the ones that will ask for the exclusivity. I get that, yes. But what I'm saying is, me as a woman, I don't think that I was necessarily prepared or in the mindset to know that. It's almost like once you get into it, then you're like, oh shoot, like this is what I'm going to have to keep up with.
I get that.
Us speaking as 36-year-old people know that now. Had I known that at 26,
I get that.
I would have to contend with that. Even in the dating realm.
Pause that. I want to highlight something. She said, it's something had I known. And then she said, I would have to, had I known that her decision probably would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
First things first. And then she's also reiterated and said, it's something I have to keep up with. In life, you have to keep up with everything, man. You got to keep up with bills. You got to keep up with the job. You got to keep up with, your kids. If you have kids, you got to keep up with, any problems you might have. Why is she making that an excuse?
This is what I mean.
I'm so confused.
Pay very attention to what's being said.
And for me is women were taught from a young age, and women, please correct me. Please correct me. They were taught by a young age, just generations. I mean, men and women, but mostly for women, that marriage is the thing to do,
Mm-hmm.
like marriage. So from an early age, women have this expectation of getting married. Like they see themselves reaching that. I don't even want to say what's the word? Reaching that level, reaching that high, reaching that peak. What would be the right terminology for that right now?
I'm gonna just simplify it and say just that main dream.
Yeah. Dream.
Ever since a little kid, I know, and I know there's gonna be some women that say, "Oh, it wasn't that for me," but majority of women had that since they were a little kid. You played house. You had the dollhouse.
Yeah,
you played,
exactly.
Husband, wife, or you had the little kitchen set.
Of
so
course,
it's always,
Of course, and that's why in the dating realm, when a woman meets a man, sometimes she like pushes on for marriage, and you see it sometimes just even in the beginning stages of dating, and it's like, okay, then normally the man takes a step back, but women have that in their mind, like marriage. So my point is, that this is some of the things that you're gonna have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't understand it.
And I want to make a quick point too before we even press play again, right? There's always this thing of a man doesn't continue to do the things that he did in the beginning to keep his woman once he has her, right? So I just want to flip that for a quick second. If, not saying that this is the case, but if the way she performed in that realm, speaking, sex, this sexual activity, what if the way she performed in that realm at the time contributed to why he wanted the relationship, but now it's not the same as that? If it was flipped the other way around, it would be, you never was like this, you never used to do this, and that. But because now we're talking to a woman, how come this is a conversation that needs to be had. Needs to be had.
Needs to be had.
Because the same way she just said, like, she didn't anticipate having to keep up with that, let's flip that. What if that's his excuse? He didn't anticipate all the things he was going to have to do, so eventually it started to diminish a little bit.
Exactly.
Would he be granted the same, I want to say, leniency or understanding?
He wouldn't. If the man had a low sex drive, it would have been a huge issue.
If a man tell you no, ladies, if a man tell you no, comment down below right now.
Yeah, comment.
Would you think? Would you believe he's just tired, or would you think that there's somebody else involved? Comment down below, let us know.
Hit play, my guy.
So now let's go back to what you asked me. You said to me you never pressured me to get married. In 2007, we were living together, right? You said you no longer wanted to live up with me and shack up with me because you wanted to be my wife, not my girlfriend.
Right, because I wanted to know where
that
the relationship was going.
That don't sound like pressure to you?
It sounds like me voicing where I see my life going. It sounds like me saying, this is what I would like. You can decide to meet me there. If not, we can reevaluate what exactly we're doing.
Okay. Additionally,
would I call it pressure per se?
I got this one. When you're at a job and you've been there for a certain amount of years, and in your head you tell yourself you deserve a raise, and you demand the raise to the boss, and the boss knows that you're one of the best workers, and you give them an ultimatum: either I get a raise or I'm out within a 6-month window. What is that called?
Come on. We know y'all watching. Let us know what is that called? What is that called?
What is that called? I mean, she just gave him an ultimatum, and let's be real. An ultimatum can be pressure too. All right, there could be a lot of pressure in the ultimatum to make the guy make a decision.
Exactly. It depends on the situation, and I would assume in this situation it is pressure, because we're not just talking about two people. We're talking about two people and also children, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that question or that voicing of what she said, she was just voicing on the things that she wants.
Yeah.
That voicing of the things you want.
She was just voicing her concerns.
It comes off as pressure, because now the man has to think. He has to really, really sit down. Oh man, if I don't do X, Y, and Z, then A, B, and C won't be here anymore.
Yeah.
That's pressure. That's pressure.
Pressure.
Going back to a job, that's gonna be pressure for the owner.
Yeah.
I know you're my best worker, but I might not be able to afford it now. But now I might lose you, but I don't want to. That's pressure.
That's pressure. Exactly. Come on, man. Hit play, my guy.
Not necessarily pressure.
It is pressure. But you don't want to say it's pressure. What about being
You
engaged?
might have felt pressure.
What about being
no
engaged?
Pressure behind it.
I said, we don't got to rush to get married. You said, I don't want to be engaged longer than a year. Is that not pressure?
That's me voicing my opinion about it.
Pause that.
Sounds like pressure to me.
What he said, it sounds like pressure to me. Because, and let me get this. If you love somebody, the excuse from women is, if you love me, then what's the wait?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we just get married?
Mm-hmm.
However, there's a lot of things that come in that. You know, there's finances, there's you know, family involved, and you get is do I really? And this is a big question. Do I really see this person for the rest of my life?
Yep. I see myself being with this person forever.
Yeah, forever. And if you want to take that kind of pressure out the situation, if the answer is yes, then marriage shouldn't even be in the forefront of your mind. And that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. If you love somebody and you want to be with them, you know, together forever, the first thing in your mind shouldn't be marriage. It should be, how can I support you? How can I compromise with you? How can we make this work for the long run? What can we do now so I can help you with your low sex drive, and we can meet at a medium.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah, meet me and you know,
compromise, man.
Yeah.
Compromise.
Yeah,
Right?
and I think a whole, and this could go on and on and on, but I'm just gonna leave it at one sentence. I think that this is the problem with a lot of relationships, and even in the dating realm, that there's no compromise. That is always selfish. That everybody's like, give me this, give me that, give me this, you know, and there's
it's mostly take versus give and take.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like in a relationship, everybody is so hurt that nobody wants to plant the seeds or help each other plant seeds so they could both grow.
I like that.
You know?
I like that. He just sprinkled on y'all. Y'all ain't even peeping, man. He just sprinkled on y'all.
And my man Desmond said, pay attention.
So you say you want to be engaged, I get engaged. You say you want to be married within a year. We do that. We get married, then you make it seem like sex is a chore to your husband.
Before we continue, just like Lade just said, pay attention. She wanted to get married. She wanted to get engaged.
Yep.
They got engaged. She wanted to get married in a certain amount of time. They got married. He gave.
And I ask the question, why do women who push forth monogamy on the man they're dating then get overwhelmed with that man who tries to provide that monogamy to you? Why do you get upset when we're trying to be what you want us to be? You don't want me to be with no one else, right? Right? I'm asking. This is a serious question.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't want me to be with no one else.
Absolutely.
So if I decide that all this testosterone I have, I want to give to you, why is this so overwhelming now? This is what you asked for.
Again, 26 and 27-year-old Kadeen was like, okay, here's the natural succession of life. You graduate, you're working, you meet somebody, you guys are dating. You want children.
Yes.
I want children.
Yes.
We don't want to wait too long or too late to have children.
Yes.
Though now a lot of people are waiting until their 30s to have children.
And I understand why.
And we at that time felt like, well, we're doing everything in this natural succession that the forces that be have given us this timeline.
Pause that real quick.
However, I did.
The forces that be.
Forces that be. Doesn't that contradict her argument before? Had I known, and you described about, you know, and I said, doesn't women at a young age know, and you described, you know, the Barbie dolls and stuff like that? It just seems like an excuse. It just seems like she's making an excuse for lack thereof. And anybody who studies psychology can look at her body language, because women always do that. sometimes when they know they're wrong or they feel some kind of, they do a little smirk on their face. You know, when they know they're wrong and they don't want to apologize, they do that. You know, because she knows that she got everything that she wanted. Mm-hmm. She knows that. You can see in this video the energy that's being represented at that table right now. You know, like, I don't know. I don't understand it.
That's why I said pay attention to the terminology.
Mm-hmm.
No full accountability is being taken. But let me not say excuses. Reasons are constantly being presented, but that goes back to me just saying, if you flip it, if he would have not gave her the ring for engagement, if he would have not set the date for marriage,
mm-hmm.
would they be here?
Human resources, man. Human resources.
It help you guys, right?
Yeah.
I realized that after having children, after, career changes, all of the turbulences that we've been through in life, that was going to have a direct effect on my sex drive.
And that right there, man. I wanna this the last point I wanna say for this. Basically, bring the full thing together. My full perspective on this video goes back to the equality thing within a relationship. Now, I'm not stupid, so I do agree with what she just said. Kids, turbulences, ups and downs in a relationship. There's a lot of things that can eventually affect a sex drive, which is the topic of this video. But the point I want to make is the same way there's a certain level of understanding that's expected for the woman, it should also be that way for the men. It's already a proven fact that there's a very distinct difference between the sex drive between man and a woman. It's a known fact.
Mm-hmm.
We know that. There are a few women who match you on it. There are even more. There are an even larger number of women who try, but their sex drive is not the same. So it's granted, we know that. But going back to just the basis of the foundation of the relationship, the same way it's expected of a man to continue to do the very things that caught your eye, caught your heart. We, as surprising as it may be, us men, we expect some of the same things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the way you did that thing, with your tongue, I might have fallen in love with that. That's probably why, Or it could be the way you cook in the kitchen,
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. But the same way we're expected to, keep that going.
Perform, yeah. Last thing I gotta say is, I kind of said a lot already, but it's kind of like to do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. That's where I'm going to leave it at. And the other word I'm going to leave with is just compromise. And
compromise.
Compromise. I think that's a big word that gets swept underneath the table. Not only in marriages, not only in dating relationships, in friendships, in business, even in the work environment. So that's one thing that definitely should be in the forefront of some conversations that really need to be had. Alright guys, that's our first human resource review. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment. To all everybody who's viewing this and haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe.
First off, what are you doing watching if you're not subscribed, man? Like, I want to know. I want to know. Matter of fact, how about you subscribe and then comment down below, let us know.
He wants you guys to compromise.
Any questions? Hopefully we got the answers, man. Human resources, we the guys to see.